We've got Tony Curry and Andrew Eddinghausen on the wings. Peter Jackson, Michael O'Connor in the centres. Wally Lewis at 5'8". He's the captain of the side, of course. Peter Sterling at halfback. Wayne Pearce back at the side at lock. Paul Vorton, Wally Fullerton Smith make up the second row. The front row, Sam Bacco, Greg Canescu, Phil Daly, the coach Don Ferner. The Great Britain lineup for you. Phil Lachlan at fullback. Henderson Gill, Martin Offiah on the wings. Phil Ford, Ellery Hanley into the centres, and Hanley, of course, the captain. David Hume and Andy Gregory, the half and 5'8". Mike Gregory, the lock. Andy Platt, Paul Dixon, the second rows. Roy Powell, Kevin Beardmore, and Kevin Ward, the man of the match in the first test, is the front row, and the coach Malcolm Riley. The referee for tonight's fixture, Francis de Platz from France, and let's hope he gets things rolling tonight. Stop-start the first test. Now just back on Great Britain for a second. The centres, in Ford and Hanley, out Schofield and Stevenson. All set to take off. Lachlan will kick off. He drives it deep too. Sterling takes it for Australia. Oh, it gets it onto Curry, and almost a mishandle. First touch of the ball. Peter Jackson is in 4, Michael O'Connor 3. That's a change to the program, so there's been a swap in jumpers there. We'd like to welcome our friends in Great Britain watching this telecast tonight through the BBC in London. Welcome aboard to Lang Park, one of the greatest arenas of rugby league anywhere in the world. Sterling. Little jinking run, but a lot of defence from the red, white and blue. Pretty committed it is. Ward and Powell in there. Back it goes for the clearer to Lewis. Lewis knows every blade of grass on this ground. Lachlan will clean it up though. Good defence from Australia. They pin him down. 30 metres out from the Great Britain line. Great Britain have the ball. Henderson Gill. And a good run from Gill too. Makes plenty of territory. And he links up with Offiah. Offiah gets it back to Gill, but he puts the ball down. Bit of panic stuff there, but Jack Gill showed us he's got the pace we've heard about.
He picked up 30-odd metres there and a pretty fine run.
Well, he's got a great reputation. Henderson Gill from Wigan. Martin Offiah from Widnes. Offiah, of course, ran across the ground in the first test at the Sydney Football Stadium. Let's hope we can see him straighten up. Now the pack weights for Australia, 563, Great Britain 552, not much in it.
They got out-muscled in that scrum, and they did in the first half in Sydney.
Great Britain ball. Gregory breaking from the lock position. Comes back to Beardmore, and they're looking for the big men to run through, and there's a strong run. Oh, big run there from Dixon. Played in the front row in the first test, back in the second row. Some high stuff from Lewis. Oh, and the Englishmen not happy with that either. A fair bit to be said. Referee Francis de Platz having a bit to say and giving all sorts of signals, but he gives the penalty to Great Britain. Canescu went into the high one. They call Lewis, it was Canescu. Canescu is down, getting some treatment. It looks like a rib problem or a shoulder. He's holding and clutching pretty hard. Lachlan, pretty strong goal kicker, Mick, this fella.
He's a strong goal kicker, and he's got a chance here to put his side 2 in front.
Well, it was Lewis that went high. That's Canescu that's down on the ground, up on his feet now and being treated. So, as we started in test number 1 in Sydney, Great Britain with a chance to get ahead with a penalty. Some interesting figures, Australia versus Great Britain. This is the 101st test between the two nations. Australia have had 47 wins. Great Britain 49 wins. There's been 4 draws. Now in Brisbane, this is the 17th test that's been played. Australia with 9 wins, Great Britain 7 wins. Australia have won the last 5 tests in Brisbane.
He doesn't look too healthy, Canescu. He seems to have some trains and whistles blowing in his head out there. He looks very shaky.
Lachlan now coming back round the corner style, very tall fullback. Played very well on the first test. Getting the Lang Park Raz. Certainly got the height. And he's got the 2 points too. So Great Britain move ahead. 2 points to nil over Australia in this, the second test. And the British flags fly high. 2,000 of them have flown out for this game. The atmosphere here, fantastic.
Well, that's the way they started in the first test.
Andy Gregory, the man that was in some doubt. It's back for Henderson Gill, and he's getting involved pretty early. Very solid athlete, Mick.
Well, he's been out to Australia before, Henderson Gill, and let's hope we can see his best form tonight.
Powerful looking runner. If he go on a loose ball, chance for Australia. Picked up very quickly by Australia too. Andrew Ettinghausen, loose ball. And some high stuff coming in now from Gregory, and Ford's in there too. Canescu, the injured player, back on his feet. On to Sterling. Oh, loose ball there. And picked up by Powell. Powell goes, oh, Lewis with another high ball. So, plenty of high stuff at the moment. A bit of push and shove.
There's no penalty there.
Horton will play it. Australia with a chance. Only 11 metres out. And there's a lot of swinging arms going on. That's Ward this time. Canescu turns it back inside for Pearce. Pearce unloads though. He gets it to Sterling. He's wrapped up by Gregory. Canescu out for Lewis. Lewis on to Jack. They read Jack pretty well.
It's not even a thought for 5 yards. In these early plays, once they get inside the 25, there's 2 or 3 metres between them.
Canescu off a Jackson pass. Plucked out of the air by Martin Offiah. Well, it's a reverse to what he did in Sydney.
No, he gave not inside the 25, Darryl. He's always short on the metre. That's inside the 22.
Yes, you are correct. There was a bit of stomping and all sorts of things going on here. Hanley having a bit of push and shove with Becca, but let's come back here as O'Connor. O'Connor! Oh yes! O'Connor! He doesn't match up on Maxis below! Give him a chance and he just puts him! Oh, beautiful try for Australia from O'Connor! Got it out quickly! The Englishman was just having a bit of a wrestling match and out it came quickly! And O'Connor did the rest! Watch this! Sterling! On to Vaughton. Vaughton gets to O'Connor. Stands up Ford. Ford wanting to go high, and O'Connor just does the palm off and heads for the line. Curry in support.
Well, it's a great run from O'Connor, but poor defence by Great Britain was the major subject. It's the number 1 point.
Well, he's a gifted player, is he, Michael O'Connor? Now lining up for his own conversion. Look at the Great Britain side behind the post. That's not the start they wanted, Mick.
Well, it's not the start. I think Phil Ford, it's supposed to be his first game in the centre tonight. I think he showed then he should have been concentrating more on technique instead of trying to knock Michael O'Connor's block off, and he paid the penalty.
O'Connor moves in. Good angle too. Beautiful kick from O'Connor. What about that? From the 22 and about half a metre in from touch. And O'Connor has Australia leading 6 points to 2. Paul Lachlan now sets it up to give it back to Australia through the kickoff. Sterling takes it. Can't. Well, it went behind him. Gets it back to Curry. Big defence. Great Britain have to strike back quickly now. On to Vaughton. Had 2 fitness tests today. Paul Vaughton. One early this morning. Another one at lunchtime for a lower back problem. And Australia have got the penalty. Gregory's on the front of his back. Andy Gregory's come in. And this test is building. There's tension out there.
He's just had his 3rd fitness test, Darryl. I think he's passed every one so far.
Good comments from Mick Cronin. Lewis finds the line. So Australia edging back toward Great Britain territory. Daly. Look at the swinging arms. There's too many of them from my point of view from the Great Britain defence. Lots of swinging arms. Comes on to Becca. Becca hard and straight. What a season he's had. Canescu. Borton into Great Britain's half. Sterling. Jackson. Quick ball out to Eddinghausen. Coming from the other wing, Eddinghausen. He's got Curry inside him. Good play from the two wingers. Looking for plenty of work. Well, Tony Curry is now in 5. Eddinghausen is in 2. That's another change to the program. So Australia have come out a change of jumpers here tonight. Borton gets one out the back door to Lewis. Canescu dummy half. Sterling kicks. Taken by Offiah. Doesn't go too far. Only gets 2 or 3. Great Britain a bit flat-footed at the moment. The runners not coming as Hanley takes the tackle right on the 22. Powell, he's a fellow that you were impressed with, Jack.
Well, the last time I saw him play, I thought he contributed a lot to their effort.
Great Britain this time kicking. That's something that Malcolm really has said he wants them to do a lot more in this test.
Well, they want field position, but now they've got to defend.
Gary Jack just dancing through them and unloading at the same time. Australia starting to run this ball and finding holes too, and plenty of them. Wally Fulton-Smith, dummy half. Looking for Pearce. Pearce straight into the Great Britain defence. 3 or 4 of them there to take him. Canescu. Sterling. And Great Britain had the chance to run it back down. Through Offiah. Unloads the ball to Henderson-Gill. So the two wingers from both sides are starting to run around the ground, linking up. This is Ford. Played very well in the first test, but he was on the wing, this time in the centres. Mick Cronin has said inexperience there could cost them dearly. Great Britain, this was Gregory. Gregory dancing, finds a little hole and finds Daly. We'd like to say to Phil and Vicky Daly, the proud parents of their son Benjamin, born yesterday. My gee, what a controversial birth it was too, but we wish them, and like everybody in rugby league, would wish them the best and good health. And I suppose you're sitting up in hospital watching this tonight, Vicky. We're thinking of you up here at Lang Park. Gary Jack. Oh, it's swinging arms everywhere. That time it's Ward, that's not his game.
No, they're getting all wide up. They'll get beat at that.
Looking for the runners, Borton. Well, he's certainly getting through a lot of work, but there's a fairly loose pass that time. A chance for Great Britain to pick it up. Hume gets it, but the referee says no. Bring it back here. There's been a double knock on, and we'll have a scrum. The crowd not happy with that one. Well, Mick, the Great Britain side were going to kick and run, and they've done neither so far, really.
I think their biggest mistake so far as Great Britain is they're trying to outmuscle Australia. They can't beat Australia that way. The only way they're going to beat them is to outplay them. They won't frighten them out of the game.
This time they've got a chance. But this defence of Australia, it's there every time there's a ball carrier there, and referee Francis Tapar says Wally Lewis wouldn't get off the player quick enough, so there's a chance for Great Britain with a penalty.
Well, they sound like they just brought this referee on. That's that mauling in the tackle, which Lewis didn't. It wasn't excessive at all. It happened many times. He just keeps exposing his ignorance to the rules, this referee.
Well, Hume was doing plenty of jumping around, but I don't know if he's trying to get up too quick. And the first test, there were 10 scrums and 18 penalties in the first half. So let's hope we can play football tonight. Just go through some of these changes for you. For Great Britain, Gill for Schofield, Powell for Stevenson. Positional changes, Phil Ford to centre, Hanley to centre, Mike Gregory to second row from lock, Dixon from front row to the second row. So, a lot of changes. Of course, Australia, Pearce for Linder. They are all the changes on the field at the moment. Lachlan and gets the 2 points. So, the score's a little closer now. Australia 6, Great Britain 4. O'Connor gets ready to drive it back for Australia with a kick-off. There's no doubt about it. They love their football here in Queensland. A good crowd tonight. Ford will take it. The Bradford Northern Club, as we said, had a big game on the wing, but looks a little lost in the centres tonight. Plays it back to Beardmore. Beardmore taken pretty quickly though. Plenty of defence there with Conescu and Sterling. Gregory, he's a cheeky little fellow, this Gregory. Still inside their danger zone, the 22. They need to get out there pretty quickly, and Ward's just a man to do it. Runs right over the top of Daly. Becca over the top. The two big men bring him down. Gregory at dummy half. Fires it back for the kick to Lachlan. Gary Jack perfectly positioned, but knocks it back behind him. Referee indicates that way too, and back he comes, but this time Great Britain take him. Powell and Gregory, the two tacklers. So Australia midway between their half and quarter as Eddinghausen goes for a run, and some big defence there too. Platt. Well, Ray French, you were saying a try. Oh, we'll just come back to Ray French in a moment, because there's a big break one here as Eddinghausen. Can he link up? There's no one to link up with. He ran towards Curry's wing, but Curry couldn't get there. Sterling at dummy half. Fires one out now for Bacco. The big man winds up, and the referee has said penalty to Australia. Great Britain offside. Well, Ray French, yesterday at training, you were going to run and kick the ball. That's not happening so far.
Well, I think actually Great Britain are containing Australia, but they're making too many mistakes, Darrell, around the play the balls and the rucks, and there's another example. And with this French referee, well, you don't quite know where the penalty's going. So discipline's the name of the game tonight. Your comments on Ford playing in the centres on what you've seen so far? Well, my comment is that he'll have to sharpen up his defence. I mean, no excuses whatsoever there. O'Connor went straight past him. He was tackling round the head. But, of course, it's a different game tackling in the centre to tackling on the wing. And I think O'Connor came at him a bit too early in the game. He'll settle down. OK, comments from Ray French, the senior BBC Rugby League commentator. It's Michael O'Connor now sets to put Australia another 2 points further up the ladder. There it goes, and he gets the 2 points. So, Australia now going ahead, 8 points to Great Britain's 4. Lachlan now getting ready to restart play. He's had a bit of practice already, Lachlan, tonight. Kicks it in exactly the same place. This time it's taken by Pearce. Pearce hard and fast. Plenty of defence. Bulletin Smith. Australia inside their 22. Comes out to Conescu. He's looking for Daly. They're on to Daly pretty quickly, but he's been tackled right on the 22. Gary Jack mishandles, gets it back. That'll be a scrum. Well, there's plenty of swinging arms here from the kickoff there. Australia ran it out over the 22. The ball went loose. Gary Jack picked it up, forcing the scrum. There's the replay. There's the mishandle. Jack gets it back, and that forced the scrum. Right, Australia's ball. Gary Jack again. Eager to come into the back line, and he's standing up Ford again. Ford, and Ford with another swinging arm. Well, come on. Now it's on. There's a bit of biffo on now, and look at the ball running in. Well, Ford, Jackie, swinging arms there. I mean, my goodness, if he connected there, he'd end up on a stand ahead.
Well, what's he going to do, this referee? Send him off for 10 minutes? I mean, it's happened on 8 or 10 occasions.
Well, it was a pretty vicious swing. Referee gives the penalty to Australia, but they'll have to settle down Great Britain. What's this? There's Hume, there's Ford. How's that one, Nick?
No, they get a crack at Tyson, Darryl.
He might last a bit longer than Spinks. Right, Australia now, midway between the half and the quarter, inside Great Britain's territory. Ionescu injured early, but he's playing pretty strongly since then. Out for Sterling on the board, and again they go high. This time it's Gregory, and Gregory comes back at him. Well, Lewis. And to Gary Jack. O'Connor. Unloads a good ball this time to Sterling. Again, Gregory's high. Sterling had a little look then too. Lewis, a little chip. Lewis gets it back. Chance. It's yes, Jackson. Beautiful play from Lewis. And has put Jackson over. Well, while ever England go high, Australia will play football. No doubt about that. Jackson now calling back because who is that? Lewis down? Lewis down, so he's obviously been hit after he unloaded that ball at Jackson. Flat on his back, Wally Lewis.
I think the Great Britain 5'8" might have caught him.
Let's have a look. Mick, here it comes. So there's Lewis with a chip. Hume comes across at him. There's the pass. Oh, no, it wasn't. Well, I would have said Lachlan. Well, Ray French, this high stuff, you know, what do you think?
Well, it's not very good, is it, Darryl? And certainly I don't think Malcolm really would want this, because two high tackles have actually given away 2 tries here. But once again, it's this man Wally Lewis here on his own home ground. He's the master. He's made the try.
Well, I think you're going to have a couple in the sin bin if they don't keep their hands down. Peter Jackson, 2 tries in the first test. Another one tonight. O'Connor now 2 from 2. He's kicking so well. There it is, 3 from 3. Scoreline. Australia 14, Great Britain 4. And they need to come back quick. Well, Lachlan will restart again. He's having a lot of practice at this. I'm really disappointed with this defence in Great Britain, Jack. I mean, they look the goods at training, but I think it's just frustration at the moment.
Well, they're losing the game. They're losing the rules, and they're losing their dignity, what they've got.
Well, Mick, that new backline is obviously a problem.
I think the problems throughout the whole side. They're sacrificing technique and trying to hurt the Australians, and the Australians just brushing through the head-high tackles and coming up with the points.
Ionescu inside the 22, gets it out to Eddinghausen. He fires a good pass out to Pearce. Pearce straights up, goes into Gregory. And Hume, the other tackler there. Sterling onto Lewis. Lewis with a big double and finds a hole too. This time they grab him again. Wrap him up. Morton. Well, they're making 10 and 12 metres every time they touch. Midway between the half and a quarter, Australia. They're into the ground as Sterling clears it out. Lachlan coming across from St Helens Club. He's taken just inside the 22. O'Connor, good defence. Runners lining up. Well, hey, French, the runners to me seem to be standing very shallow in this side of yours tonight.
There's nobody coming on from depth, and I don't think really Malcolm really wants this ball kept around the rucks here. I think his 2 plans of attack were, one, these kicks from Paul Lachlan, but also he wanted to get the ball out wide to that 3-quarter line, and we're not doing that.
Every time that Lachlan kicks, he virtually kicks it down Gary Jack's throat.
Well, he is doing it at the moment, and Gary Jack's making an awful lot of room too before he's tackled.
Okay, Pearce now, he's tackled almost to the halfway line. Ionescu gets it on to Becca. Becca another 4 or 5. Lewis quickly in a dummy half. On to Sterling. Sterling trying to link up and can't, so takes the tackle, but they're midway between the quarter and a half. Great Britain's into the ground. Nice and deep. Lewis looking for Jackson, finds Jackson. Loses the ball though. So we'll have a scrum. Well, Great Britain have missed 12 tackles so far in this match, and that's far too many in a test. Most of that, Jack, because they've gone high.
Well, they haven't missed many heads. They've certainly got a high tackle count there.
And plays it back to Beardmore, out now to Gregory, from Gregory. Mike Gregory, the blonde player. He's from the Warrington club. And Andy Gregory from Wigan, the little halfback. Beardmore to Gregory. Run around with Gregory. He slips this time, though. The crowd respond to this little guy. Hume kicks and finds the line too. So, a chance for Great Britain now to find some territory.
It's a chance for Great Britain to do a bit more tackling. Normally the feed will go to Australia.
Scrum 32 metres out from the Australian line. Australian ball. Curry. Hume doing a lot of defensive work. And Gregory. Pearce. Hard run from Pearce. Very proud to be back on this Australian side. Fullerton Smith. Canescu on the Sterling. He had to really pull that ball back onto Daly. Surges to the halfway line. So there's been a knock on there, so we'll have a scrum run on the halfway line. Great Britain ball now. What can we see in a tackle? Straight away they kick. Return to Australia around. Look at Offiah. Offiah coming through at 100 miles an hour. Takes Gary Jack too, but he unloads it. Oh, pretty deadly stuff here. Eddinghausen trying to run it out. They come back at Eddinghausen when he gets it out. Henderson-Gill gets in. Well, some pretty quick football then. To kick a chase and to get back into the field of play. Lewis. Australia 10 metres out. They seem to be able to make that 2 or 3 metres that they need pretty easy. Hume doing so much defensive work there. Sterling out for Pearce, and that's better defence now. They're going low and bringing the player down.
See, Australia prepared to pass the ball in their 22. England are only prepared to run from dummy half and kick early.
And Rick, we saw that Offiah certainly has straight line pace.
Well, he has got that, Darryl. I think he got a bit of a help there. He got a bit of a start. He's in front of the kicker. But the biggest mistake was there were no other chasers, because they should have caught Australia behind their own try line there.
Well, at least he's running a little straighter in this game. Of course, in the Sydney game, he ran across the field most of the night, but he's certainly an interesting character. He scored, Ray French, what was it, over 50 tries in the year or so that he's left rugby union?
Well, he scored 44 tries for Widnes in his first season, and he scored 15 tries in 9 appearances so far. So he's really learning the game quickly. Quite honestly, Darryl, I must say I thought he was obstructed in the running there, and I'm surprised the French referee didn't give a penalty.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. Gregory, onto Gregory. Henderson-Gill dummy half. Flicks one off the ground for There's a long flutter out for Ford. This Australian defence right on the Ford. Now the runners start to come through. Hanley, classy player this fellow. Eager to do well in this test tonight too, if he can get the right chances. Very versatile player as Gregory makes a few little busts that gets on the Beardmore. They're putting it down and squandering possession. Mike Gregory is disputing that. The referee will have none of it, and we'll have a scrum. Great Britain player down. Hard to see who it is from here. Henderson-Gill it is that's down. He went in for that loose ball. Here it is again, the pass from Gregory. Ball goes loose. Beardmore gets onto it. So maybe a knee in the back or a belt in the back, but he's up. Scrum screwing around. That was one of the big problems in the first test.
Well, they coach that way. You want to screw that scrum against the feed. There's another high shot. went unchecked or unnoticed.
Andy Gregory that time. Curry. Across field, they read him pretty well. Easy meet that time for the Great Britain defence. Sterling dummy half. Comes out to Becca. No good going high on Becca. He caught that all night. This time he loses the ball though. At least that'll force a scrum right on the halfway line. Ray, Andy Gregory is not playing the game that we've seen him play in the first test, and we know that he's capable of tonight.
Well, I think Andy Gregory's under a little bit of a problem. He's not fully recovered from that hamstring, and I think Andy's playing more of a passing role than a running role. But I think he's got himself caught up as well too much in the forward play. But there's a long time to go yet, Darryl.
Not disputing that, my friend. Not disputing that. Scoreline at the moment, Australia 14, Great Britain 4. We remind you the penalty this time going to Great Britain. Sam Becca having a bit to say. Lachlan will find the line for Great Britain. Every time they touch the ball, the crowd from the old dart come alive here. There's plenty of them tonight. Ward turns it back quickly to Beardmore. Then it goes on to Gregory. Gregory finds a little hole too. Oh, and couldn't link up though. Lost the ball. Well, Gregory, that's the sort of game we know he can play. Clever player. Just needs some backup though. Wally Fulop-Smith takes it away from Australia. Found a hole there, but the backup wasn't there, and that's the difference between these two sides. Australia's got the man trailing the ball carrier. Again, we have a blow of the whistle. This time, Great Britain are caught offside. Well, here we go again, stop-start football.
Well, I can't understand his 5-metre rule. He's very inconsistent in it. They were inside it, but they were inside the last 3 plays too.
Mick, they need to back up the man with the ball a bit more.
Well, they probably do. I think he's entitled to go down to the ground with that pass. There's 5 tackles to go, and he's going to get tackled about 10 yards out from Australia's line. You know, 5 more plays to go, they could score a try.
That's the cheeky little player he is.
Oh, he's got plenty of ability, but I think they're getting a bit frustrated. They're trying to score off, you know, when they get there, they want to score as soon as possible. They're just got to be prepared to take their time and wait for their chances to come.
Andy Platt, a bit of high-nonsense stuff tonight too, which is not like him. If the game against Manly tackled so well, and in the first test he tackled so well, but a bit of swinging arm stuff tonight. The kick too big for Australia. Brought back. Peter Sterling having a bit to say about that kick. Well, Australia can wrap up this 3-test series with a win tonight and leading 14-4 at the moment. Great Britain need to do something and do it pretty quickly to get back on the scoreboard. Gregory doing the best he can. Wrestled down by Pearce. The other Gregory at dummy half. It comes on to Hanley. Hanley unloads pretty quickly to Lachlan. The big fella winds up. Becca and Sterling, the tacklers this time. Beardmore at dummy half. To Gregory. Little stab kick over the top from Hume. Plenty of chasers too. Offiah put his boot to the ball. And into touch. Well, Jack, you mentioned earlier when I mentioned that hard training session yesterday, perhaps they did a little bit too much.
Well, they seem to run all right tonight. That's the way to defence. And everything's a headshot with them, unfortunately. But that's not going to help what they come here to do. But I think they're trying to outmuscle them. He's worked out another penalty, this referee. He shakes his hand. That's his reason.
Well, I suppose they haven't got much choice with so many positional changes. Malcolm really has got to run this side to get some sort of an understanding between them.
Well, they've been here long enough to understand each other. God knows what that penalty was for. They got 2 cheap penalties on our feed.
Okay, Gregory. The Rollers are coming through this time, and Dixon. This is Platt. Helen's player with a pretty big reputation. Beardmore, I like this fellow. He's busy. Now they're only 2 or 3 metres out. So can Great Britain strike back? Andy Gregory. The runners are going everywhere, but they're all overrunning. He's still going, and no one to give it to. Well, look at this. This is not good play. I mean, the backup runners just went past him.
Well, it wasn't Andy's fault then. He was looking for a runner, and he'd come up empty. There was nothing there.
Ward, he'll straighten it up. One way he knows to go, straight, hard and fast. Beardmore, Gregory. Little chip kick to follow through. Taken by Curry, though. Ford was there. Curry takes it well. So Great Britain will get the ball back, and they get another chance to hammer Australia's line.
Well, that was their best set of plays.
Becca and Daly, Australia's big men, Borton there. Gary Jack down low, waiting. Lewis takes the kick.
Well, I'll tell you what, he must think Lewis can kick it. He's down his own 22-metre line, the fullback.
Ford has taken it. Showed us a bit of step in Sydney too, Ford, but they're not letting him do it tonight. They're right onto him. Gregory dummy half. Goes from there. Gregory is like a little traffic cop. He's waving his arms around. He's trying to get the players in position as Powell brings it up. He makes 4 or 5. Ward. The ball wrenched loose. Wally, Fullerton, Smith, Sterling onto O'Connor. O'Connor out of one. Going again, O'Connor. This time they come back and get him, though. Hat chased him, and there's a bit of push and shove with Beardmore. Pearce back to the halfway line. Tedeschi. Fullerton, Smith. Into Great Britain's half now. Good ball for Pearce. Australia electing to go right up to the centre now. Lewis will probably spin it. Goes to Sterling, to Jackson. To Jackson with the arms free. Can't pop it this time, though. And the two wingers are over here at the moment. Eddinghausen's on this side with Curry. So both Australian wingers playing on the one side as Henderson Gill winds up. He runs over to where Eddinghausen should be. Eddinghausen now running across to Offiah. So both wingers are loading up, and he's still got a bit of pace, this fellow. Oh boy, that's better stuff.
Well, that was the cruelest play of the evening. They come up with a fresh ball. He runs 30 yards with it and out.
That was a play that he did in the first test too. He gives up territory pretty easy. There it is for you.
He was heading for the dressing room.
What do you think of Eddinghausen and Curry, both on the same side of the field here a moment ago?
Well, that's how the play came.
Jack. So the wingers on both sides are making a lot of ground tonight, covering the ground, backing each other up. Jackson onto O'Connor. O'Connor this time taken by Ford. The help from Hume. Sterling. Fullerton Smith. Out to O'Connor, flicks it back to Canescu, on to Sterling. Lewis is like touch football at the moment. Becca on to Lewis, the crowd have gone up here in Australia right away again. Gary Jack gets it on to Eddinghausen, now he'll score, oh yes, he teed into the corner, Eddinghausen in, a great play from Australia, they just kept it alive. Lewis made the break and they just kept throwing it around like a hot potato. Well, Australia playing running rugby league at the moment, and the crowd sapping it up. Ted again, Canescu fires it out to Pearce. Now this was the damaging run here as Becca unloaded on to Lewis. Lewis stood him up, straightened him up. Jack was there coming through. Got it on to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen then too fast for Offiah. Got him off, and Lockman too slow.
There's a lot of players you can compliment on this play, on this try. But I'm going to compliment Lewis twice. It was his try, and a little poor defence by the winger allowed Ed to get in there.
Great Britain in behind their line, 18-4, the kick to come. Michael O'Connor has not had a lot of success in Sydney at the new ground, but he loves to kick up here. Oh, and off the upright this time. So the score remains Australia 18 leading Great Britain 4 in this, the second test. Lachlan. Well, Ray, what are they going to be told at half-time? What can they do?
Well, I would think they've got to be told, one, to keep hold of the ball. We're losing the ball in crucial stages. And secondly, there's too much of the high tackling and not enough putting the man down. Australia have had 3 chances and they've taken 3 chances. That's the difference. That's a World Championship side.
Ray, this side of yours is a better side than how they're playing tonight.
Oh, I think so. I don't think we're playing as well as in the first test. We're not containing Australia deep in their own half. We're letting too many breaks come on in midfield.
I mentioned off the top of the program that you lost 9 players out of this side. I mean, that's a great hole to have to fill, isn't it?
Oh, it's a tremendous hole. It's a tremendous hole in class players. But just look once again, the tackling there, quite frankly, Darryl, isn't good enough.
Well, comments from Ray French as Becca, big slam, and Sam just took it 40, 50 metres downfield. He lost the ball, but for a big man, he can motor.
He picked up a lot of yards then. I still think he should have released. He came up with a fumble at the finish.
Anderson Gill. He's off his wing again, right on the other side of the ground, so he's keen to get into the play, Anderson Gill. He's just following the ball. Gregory with a long one out to Powell. Powell can't go too far though. Sterling underneath him. That's the half-time hooter has gone. Position of the first half here, Jack. Metres gained, Australia. 45 metres, 38 metres, Great Britain.
Well, they beat them out there, Australia. And I think the penalties were about even.
Now, time in the opposition half.
17 against 14. Well, they're 3 up there. And they're up on metres.
Time in possession.
Well, that's an important one. That's about what the score should indicate. That's
the referee, Mick.
Well, I don't know what you can say too much about the referee. I think we noticed his problem in Sydney, and they haven't improved it. He's still got a few out here tonight, being very inconsistent. And I think, as a game, it's suffering.
In that first half, there were 4 penalties to each side and 10 scrums, Mick.
Well, he's eliminated a few penalties from the first game. I suppose that's some improvement.
Okay, from the kick-off, it's forward for Great Britain now. Can the Poms come back with some constructive football here? They need to do some attacking the Great Britain side as Gregory runs in hard and fast. So this is better stuff. They're going in hard this time. We've got to maintain it, though. Comes out to Hanley, the stepper. He unloads too. He gets it away, a nice little short ball to Dixon. Playing in the second row in this match. He played in the front row in the first test. Beardmore gets it out to Gregory. So obviously they're going to kick in this half, Jack.
Well, they kicked in the last half when they run shorter tackles.
Gary Jack with a little slip. So Great Britain pin Gary Jack about 5 metres out from the line. Eddinghausen. Try score in the first half. Eskew onto Sterling. It's on to Curry. That little slap around the face there with the assistance of Hume. Bulletin Smith puts the ball down though. So this scrum will form inside the Australian 22. Phil Ford obviously has had a problem with his jumper at half-time because he's come out with no number on his back. He's a lily white. Gregory trying to pull the scrum back. This penalty though, look at Wally Lewis arguing this. The penalty has gone to Great Britain. And Lewis is over having a bit to say. Referee just turns away. He's not interested. Here's Ford. Ford into the 22 with a floater out for Offiah. Can't take it though. He reached up and grabbed for it. Couldn't take it. Chance there.
Well, that's the major problem with England. What they've got to do. So I'm sitting in the stand and saying that they've got to give the defensive part of the game a spell and try and work out some 6 tackles.
Another scrum to pack in the 22, Australia's feed. Scoreline 18-4, Australia leading. Gary Jack belted down this time, deep in the 22. Australia about 18 metres out as Pearce comes hard and straight and makes it to the 22. Plenty of defence. Hume on the top. Beardmore underneath. Platt was there also. There's a Dixon. Dixon comes back and wrestles down Becca with the help of Hume. Sterling. Ball on the air. Plenty of chasers going back. Henderson-Gill will get it. Big step, runs backwards 4 or 5, links up with Lachlan. Lachlan taken with a beautiful tackle. Ubai, Bullet and Smith. Now the dancing starts. It's Offiah. He's got to learn to run straight. I know I've said it 100 times, but geez, had some chances and he just runs along the back of the players all the time. Just won't straighten up. Gregory, ball in the air straight away. Turning Australia around. Eddinghausen has support from Gary Jack. And Platt tackling a lot lower this half. Ward in there to help. And Ward certainly hasn't had the game he had in the first test. Gary Jack still inside the 22 Australia. Canescu dummy half looking for Pearce. Now it goes the other side to Daly. They meet Daly pretty well, but he's taken play out of the danger zone for Australia. Canescu. Ball back for Jackson. Back for Canescu onto Lewis. Lewis shapes to kick, turns it back to Borton. Borton with a little break up the centre now. Over in the halfway wall, deep into Great Britain territory. Takes the tackle of Australia now on the attack. Lewis gets it out to Jackson. Jackson to Sterling. Sterling looking for some fastment out there. He's got forwards all round him. There's a little stab kick. Great Britain fallen. Well, Australia wanting to attack. Jackson the tackler. He followed the kick. Comes on to Powell. They beat Powell head on. Slam him down on the 22. Moore cuts out Gregory. Gets it on the Ward. Ward wrestling away. Fullerton Smith and comes in and wrestles him down. Pearce was underneath. Heard of it then. Ward too a bit slow to get up. Gregory. Hanley. Tackled right on the 22 by Wally Lewis. Gregory. Back for the kick. This could be out on the full, and it is. So, poor kicking that time from Great Britain. It will come way back. Well, Ray, they're kicking a little better this time. At least they're not finding Jack every time, but there's not too much thought in that kick.
But unfortunately, Darryl, we're not finding the pitch either. That's the problem. The ball's got to go downfield. It's got to stay in play. I mean, we're giving Australia possession time and time again.
Gregory is a tough little competitor, that fella. The run around. Jackson getting driven back, and that's better defence. Now we've got to Mike Gregory. He's taken play midway between the half and the quarter for Great Britain. Now they're getting a surge on as Ward comes onto the ball hard. Makes another 3 or 4. They're very deep, Great Britain. We know they've got pace. Let's see if they can use it. Gregory, long pass out for Hume. Turns it back inside for Platt, but the ball goes loose. Australia come away with it. It's not what they wanted. Canescu under Lewis. Makes the tackle this time. 32 metres out from the Great Britain line, Australia. Vorton gets it out for Pearce. Pearce makes another 4 or 5 almost to the 22. Australia eager now to attack. Goes out to Sterling. Sterling back inside. Now he's inside the 22 just. Lewis now looking for the ball, and it goes to him. Lewis prepared to run a bit tonight, but Great Britain come up with the ball this time through Beardmore. Gregory from dummy half. Out of 1, out of 2, but can't link up. Hume was there, overran him. Hanley splits him. Hanley, oh, he's got some pace. He's a good footballer, this bloke. And then it comes down to Ford. Ford puts down the accelerator. Will he make it? I think he will. And Great Britain has scored right under the black dot. Well, now we've got Ford ran like a startled gazelle straight to the post. Here's Hanley. Ganescu can't get him. Now he gets it out to Ford. The cover defence comes across. Curry just can't get there though, and he kicks out, and that's a great Britain try. That's a super try. Scoreline.
Well, Hanley gets rid of Lewis on this play. Once he gets it back to Ford, he just had too much quickness. Certainly done a dry dive when he got there.
Kick from Lachlan, successful. So, Australia now leading Great Britain 18 points to 10. Well, Mick, that's better play, and Hanley showed us what we've read so much about him.
Well, England started the second half the way they should have started the first half. They've forgot about trying to come in with the swinging arms. They've just concentrated on technique in defence. They're wrapping up the Australians. They're trying to work the ball and use their kicking game. If they keep that up, well, there's some chance of getting back into the match.
Well, Hanley didn't get much of a chance in the first half. He didn't see much of the ball.
He didn't get a real lot, but he did go looking for it a few times, but he just showed then what he can do with a bit of room to move.
O'Connor to Gregory. Well, Ray French, that's better play now.
Well, that was superb play, Darren, and that was what I was talking about in the first half. There's tremendous talent in this three-quarter line, and if it's unleashed, they can score the tries, but we've got to get that defensive setup right.
I think Ray was in the dressing room at half-time.
Gregory. Bustling run from Gregory. You've had a bit to do with Mike Gregory?
Yeah, no, he'll play all day. He'll work all day, Mike Gregory.
Mike Gregory, of course, has played for the Cronulla club when Jack was coaching there. This is Borton. And now Great Britain starting to tackle, and they're getting the ball back to. This is Gregory. How can he link up? He gets it out to Hanley, and that looked forward to me, and the crowd agreed. Anyway, the referees let it go.
Well, it's only a little forward and foot.
Only a little forward. This is Platt. Loose ball. Dived on by Australia. Oh, and a bit of... now it's on. The punches have started. It's all on here now, Lane Park. Both sides are coming in. Most of them are coming in to stop it, I'll tell you. But Mike Gregory's got up, thrown them. Curry's still throwing a few. Henderson Gill's having a little bit of a wrestling match with Curry.
The natives are restless.
Pearce got plenty on the ground. Gregory just threw him at him.
Well, I got to say, Gregory started it and then didn't finish it.
Pearce was on the ground and Gregory just laid into him. Wayne Pearce with a bit of clout around the nose. Mike Gregory.
He's trying to take a bit of Pearce, and there's just no way that'll ever be in his street.
Now, French referee Francis Offiah said no penalty anywhere. He said we'll have a scrum. Ward's pointing to his forehead, obviously talking about Big Sam. All right, let's have a look. It was Platt that went down with the ball. Now here's the wrestling match between Pearce and Gregory. Gregory just laid into Pearce with his elbow, and that's the resulting scrum. Okay, Gary Jack. Paul Hume is on now. He's replaced Andy Platt. We'll come back to that in a moment because here's O'Connor stepping. Now it's Fortin Smith. Now it's Lewis. Here's Jackson. Jackson stumbles. Gets it away to Pearce. Onto Curry. Australia starting to throw the ball around now. Comes back to Sterling. Out for Lewis. Lewis with a big palm off, but they take him inside the 22.
Well, Great Britain were completely offside in that play.
Jackson throws a loose one back, picked up by Fortin Smith, and that'll be the scrum now. For Great Britain, Paul Hume is on. He's replacing Andy Platt. Ray French, that now means we've got two brothers playing in a test match for the first time. Is that right?
It's certainly the first time ever in Great Britain. We've had brothers like Neil and Don Fox in 62, the Evanses from Swinton in 24, and we had the Bates brothers in 74. But neither of them ever lined up in a test match. So what a wonderful night for the Hume's father, Matt, who sat in the grandstand watching them.
Yes, he's flown out to see the boys play. That's Powell getting taken. Also, Ray, while you're still there, I believe that Paul only arrived in Australia last Wednesday.
Paul arrived last Wednesday morning. He played up at Gympie, but he's a rough handful, and I think he'll enjoy the good forward play here. He's the ideal man to come on.
OK, Gary Jack wins it back for Australia into Great Britain's half by a couple of metres. Gets out of the tackle though, still going, still spinning Gary Jack. Oh, he's a good player, this fella, Ray. Ray's off the air for a moment. She'll come out wide. O'Connor can't handle. Oh, and some late stuff from Hanley. And Jackson, Eddinghausen. Crossfield Eddinghausen now straightens up and he's tackled right on the halfway line. Beardmore, the hooker, doing the defensive work that time. Comes out to Becca, and Becca just hard and fast. And look at that, he's made 15 metres. Lewis just couldn't unload that time, Lewis. Well, he's eager to run tonight, Mick.
Well, I've always thought he's a much more dangerous player when he runs, Wally, and he's proven it again tonight. There was plenty of problems for the English side.
Borton, kick right under the goal mouth. Lachlan goes upward, loose ball, Hanley onto it though. In trouble here, Great Britain are going to run it out of here. They're only about 7 metres out. New player comes on, Paul Hume. Brother of number 6, David Hume. A history made here at Lang Park tonight for the first time in the Great Britain side. 2 brothers playing. Gregory, where's Pearce?
Well, this ref will let anything go. He didn't pull up a knock on there, and there was a forward pass on the other occasion.
Bailey high. Back for the kick. Straight away again, Gary Jack is under the ball, so I really can't understand that.
He's completely out of his depth, this referee. So surely the border control or whoever controls these. Look, he's from France and the competitors from Australia and Great Britain. You know, he don't care if they kill each other.
Well, we discussed that at the end of the first test, and we were saying that, one, we need an English-speaking referee, and 2, perhaps someone from New Zealand would be a better selection.
The most humorous part is when he made decisions made, both captains go up and have a talk to him. They might as well talk to the goalpost, because he can't understand, and neither the players.
Becca inside the 22 for Australia again. And then nice and deep Australia looking for runners. Rescue off Daly, gets it to Lewis. Oh, loose ball, can't be handled by Jackson, picked up by Gary Jack. Loose ball though, and Offiah has it. Here we go. 5 metres again across the field. You resent being tackled that time too. Beardmore straightens it up. Daly straightens him up. Back for Henderson Gill. Gregory. Can't get it away. Score, Australia 18, Great Britain 10. Hume, back for Gregory. Back for Lachlan for the kick, but he decides to run it. They run him down on the ground. More to Gregory, he'll kick. Too big though, Curry's side of the ground, and Curry just watched it float over the line. Gregory not too impressed. Australia feed, Australia ball, the scrum's screwing around again. Certainly has a lot of trouble with scrums, this fellow. He right throughout the first test, I don't know how many times he repacked them. Here's Lewis, penalty, Australia, Great Britain offside. Well, he's been letting them go now, Jack, for half an hour, and all of a sudden he bobs back up again.
Well, he was in front of the hooker, so I suppose he's entitled to be pinched, but he's been letting that much go.
Lewis finds touch, so Australia will attack from inside the 22. Finescu, Sterling, Becca turns it back to Sterling, on to Lewis. Lewis can't unload this time though. Tony Curry. Curry from there, still going, Curry, still going. Canescu, Sterling looking for Jackson, ball loose. Gregory swoops on the ball, but there'll be a scrum. Jackson just couldn't find the ball off Sterling's pass that time. Play centre field, about 12 metres out. Handling errors, Great Britain 10, Australia 13. Surprises me a little, but then Australia have been pushing the ball a bit harder. Lewis, little flick round, flick pass. Look at this, they're just running everywhere. Jackson, still dancing, Jackson, still playing Jackson. Oh, it's a good player. Good player, Jackson. Australia close.
They've got Hanley even in front of them.
Well, there's a try. It's a try, no doubt about it. He's done it again, the big fella, Becca. He's had a great year. Too big, too strong, too tough from there, just barged over. Jack was just pointing out how far that the Great Britain side were offside when Becca went in there, but he just pushed his way over. He's just a big, strong man. Watch this. Dummy half. They know he's going to go from there. Just can't stop him. Too much determination.
Now he went in there, he's got just that too much leverage. He just shot from dummy half and powered over.
I can't remember a front rower for a long time that scored so many tries.
Well, now, I think if you're looking for a representative player of the year, I think Sam Becca will be high on your list. Every game now he seems to come up with a try.
Okay, well, the kick's right in front. Connor, 3 from 4. A great night with a boot. Yes, sir. So, the scoreline now starting to get a little bit embarrassing. Australia 24, Great Britain 10. Lachlan will restart for Great Britain. Drives it deep for Sterling. Sterling just flicks it straight away for Curry. Australia inside the 22. Comfortably ahead now and look like taking the series 24-10, and time running out for Great Britain. Sterling. Daly there with a bit of a limp. Content just to run it from there, Daly. Well, from the kick-off, Australia have run the ball out from the 22. A little bit of disputed possession there. Again, some fair rough stuff in the play of the balls. Lewis drives the ball out. Well, Ray French, what do you think of this Sam Becca?
Well, he's certainly a tremendous prop, and I can understand why the Wigan Rugby League Club are very interested in him. He took his chance well, Darryl, but the try really came from that 15-minute pressure from Australia. Great Britain lost the ball 2 or 3 times too many, and really it was a case of a couple of forwards having a rest.
But Ray, they knew he was going to run from dummy half there, surely.
Well, they either did or they didn't. He scored, and that's all there is to it.
How would he go in England?
Oh, I think he'll go very well, especially on the heavy grounds, because he's a big lad who likes to drive down the middle.
Forward. To Gary Jack. It's been the pattern of the night. Whoever kicks, Jack's there. Sterling. Out for Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen out of one. Well, he's having no trouble getting around his opposite number here in Offiah. Sterling. Pearce. Oh, some high stuff again. Pearce has copped a bit tonight. He really has had quite a bit of attention on him.
Well, that referee embarrasses me, and I'm sure the audience too. I don't know where they Reasserts going to get him from. Where they got him from or what?
Well, that time it was from Ward, and I mean, Ward just doesn't play that sort of football, but he certainly has had a couple of high shots tonight. Australia won the last 14 tests against Great Britain. They look like they're going to win this one too.
Well,
Curry, Sterling, McVaughton. Rescue dummy half, Australia deep. Sterling calling for the ball. This time it goes to Lewis, a little juggle. And he's taken play right to the halfway line. Jackson's dummy half. Goes from there. Makes another 3 or 4. He's taken by Hanley. Quickly to Lewis. Ball in the air. Well, a bouncing ball, and the Englishmen are just looking at it. The referee's waving Australia back, and he's given a penalty to Great Britain.
well, I go along with the referee. I thought he jumped offside.
Lachlan.
Well, I think O'Connor was offside, but I think Curry might have been onside, actually. I think he could have played at the ball, actually. Curry.
He's been really busy tonight in general play, Curry, hasn't he?
He's a very good player, Curry. He's used to playing full-back and centre. So when you get out on the wing, you probably like to be involved a bit more than you do sometimes on the wing.
And returning from Canterbury back to the Brisbane Broncos next year.
Well, he's a Brisbane boy. I suppose we all like to go home sooner or later. He's just coming home a bit sooner.
Scrum's 9-7, Australia's favour. Again, he's having trouble getting them down. Scrum screwing around. Again, the whistle blows, and this time he gives the penalty to Australia. Well, they're not learning, are they? I mean, every time they spin a scrum, they give away a penalty.
Well, I think that's the first one, Darryl. He's penalised Australia 3 times previous in scrums.
Well, I meant that. I mean, every time the scrum screws, someone gets a penalty. I mean, it's made it pretty clear from the word go, but Australia now deep inside the 22, and Daly plays it back to Canescu. Here comes Becca. Becca winds up. He's out on one. Look at this. They're just hanging off him, and he's almost there again. What a run. What a player Becca is this year. Back for Canescu. On to Lewis. Lewis. Oh, and just can't get it down. It's a facial from Paul Hume as well. Paul also in there for the tackle. Lewis plays it back to Canescu. Gets it on to Sterling. He handballs it over for Jackson. Gets it on now to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen just short though. Good defence this time from Great Britain. They come across and cut him off. Pearce. He'll go from there. Pearce. And he'll score. Well, Wayne Pearce won his jumper back and just scored for Australia. And that would be a sweet try. The New South Wales skipper, Balmain skipper, Wayne Pearce. Australia running away with this now. What's this? Pearce. You could see he was going to run from there every time. No way they were going to stop him. He just headed for the corner and in.
Well, I think Pearce has made more straight yards than any player on the paddock. He deserved that try. His defence has been right up there.
Well, the kick this time for O'Connor. It's not an easy one. O'Connor from the junction line of the 22 of the touchline. Difficult kick. Not successful though, so the score now remains Australia 28, Great Britain 10. Bob Lindner is on for Greg Canescu. Greg Canescu has gone off, and Bob Lindner, wearing number 15, is on for Australia. Greg Canescu sitting on the sidelines. Another solid game from him. He certainly gives good service, doesn't he?
Well, I could agree with that.
Sterling. 12:36 remaining on the clock. 28-10. Australia look like wrapping up this series once again. One more test to be played in Sydney.
See, he's desperate to rip somebody. Gregory is twice he's gone in there and had a gouge. He's just got Jack and he just missed Sterling.
Pearce tackled then, and one of the Great Britain players really bounced out of there. I couldn't quite catch who it was. But here's Lewis on to Sterling. He's got O'Connor. O'Connor flicks one out for Curry. Ford sort of lunges at him. Now there's plenty happening. Players all over the place. Australia say, let's play football. Sterling on to Bobby Linder. Linder gets it to Lewis. Lewis will score. Australia in again. Lewis under the post. Henderson Gill runs around and chases him, but they just want to play football this side. Hungry for points, Australia. Bobby Linder on the field for 2 or 3 minutes and made a big opening. Well, they're getting a football lesson, this Great Britain side now. Then again, Sterling. Now he got it to Jackson. Came back to Sterling. He handled twice. He gets it on to Bobby Linder. Linder threw some dreadful rubbish. Gets one out to Lewis. Lewis had support, but just went under the post. Henderson Gill chased him. Too late.
That was certainly a great try, this real team try. A lot of people had credits in this. But there you go. Early in the piece, we got Andy Gregory worrying about gouging, and then we got Australia worrying about scoring.
Right kick to come. O'Connor. About 10 metres off centre. Not a difficult kick. Bang. 2 points. So, the sign on the ground says crowd goes wild. 34-10 this scoreline now. Well, Ray French, I feel a little sorry for you sitting down there. I know in the first half of the first test you were very encouraged with their performance, but right now they don't want to play football, they want to fight.
Well, thank you very much for feeling sorry for me, Darryl. It's nice to have an Australian sympathetic for a Pom. But I'm feeling even sorrier here now for the Great Britain management. It looks as if Phil Ford has got real problems with his leg. And what a travesty has this tour been. We've been struck down week after week with losing top-class players. And here, well, it looks as if we might be losing another one. Just let's hope not.
Yes, well, they're pretty concerned, aren't they, over at the moment. Darren Wright will replace Phil Ford, who's down. Darren Wright from the Widnes Club. We'll have a look at how he's been hurt, Phil Ford. He's been a good performer for this side. And there it is. Well, he's had to come off, but he would feel quite happy with what he's done. I don't think that was the incident, actually, because he did bend around, but anyway, he's off. And Darren Wright, who plays for the Widnes Club, is on. And he's in jumper number 14. Okay, Sterling. Out Fredinghausen again. O'Connor dummy half. Sterling. On to Pearce. Australia just running it out now and making easy yardage every time they touch from dummy half. Sterling, later out for Lewis, onto Jackson, run around for Gary Jack, he splits him again, Gary Jack, he's out of the opening, he's got Curry there, Lewis again backs up, Gregory gets him with the help of Wright, so Lachlan comes up with the ball, he gets driven back. Official attendance here tonight, 27,130, so that's a good crowd, well done Brisbane. Beardmore Back for Gregory. Oh, and some big, hard stuff there. It was Paul Hume. Hard run. Back for his brother, David Hume. The kick too big. David Hume. Plays out a witness. Scrums 9-7, Australia's favourite. Look at this, starting to spin and twist already. This time against the feed. Great Britain come away with the ball. Lachlan out of one. Gets a bit of stride going, the big fella now, Lachlan. This is a good run from him, but straight into touch. Oh, we've done it again.
Now they want some tackling practice, and they thought this is the best way to have it. Get one play and run out. And they got that ball against the feed too.
Mick?
Well, it's typical of their display. They've got no discipline. They run out on the first tackle. They'd lose the ball on the first and second tackle. In the fence, they're also very undisciplined with their head-high tackling. And I think they paid the price here tonight.
If Mick Cronin did that sort of thing in test matches as a coach, what would you say to him?
Well, I don't know what I'd say to him. Probably if I was the boss man, it would be the only game he'd play. But I just watching that, he gave England a penalty feeding second row.
Well, Great Britain now, 10 metres out. Can they put some points on the board? Powell goes hard. This time, though, taken pretty easily by Pearce. Beardmore. Crisscross moves going on. Ellery Hanley goes without the ball, though. And Australia come away with it. Sterling with a flick pass out for E.T. And Gregory with a high tackle again. And Eddinghausen hasn't moved. And he's got to go. And he has gone. 10 minutes in the sin bin. And it's about time. I'll say that, it's about time.
Well, that's about 1 out of 10. So he's gone off. The only thing this Great Britain team stands for, from my seat in the stands, I don't think they'd stand for the national anthem.
Well, watch this. Bang. Now, that fellow, Gregory, is a better player than that. He's a good footballer. But he's been doing this sort of stuff all night tonight. It's not the way he played the first test. It's not the way he should be playing the second test. Ray French, your comments?
No doubt about it. That warranted sending off. I think Andy there just let his enthusiasm in his head rule himself. No real need for that.
Well, you were saying in the first test, if he could curb some of that aggression, he is a fine player. He doesn't need to do that.
Well, I don't think he does need to do that, but I think Andy Gregory's been very fired up for this test match, and I think, he's got a big heart under that little jersey there.
Okay, comments from Ray French. Now, Eddinghausen's off and will stay with the football because they're inside the 22. The ball has been put down, but it's been knocked on, so there'll be a scrum. And Gary Belcher in jumper number 14 is on for Eddinghausen. So Eddinghausen off after that heavy knock. And Gary Belcher is on. There's Eddinghausen sitting over on the sidelines. He looks okay, but he took a pretty heavy knock. He's had a solid game tonight. Great Britain on their 22 of the ball. Gregory. Taken by Sterling. Hume. Powell. Beardmore to Hume. Better looking kick this time. No, too big a game. Well, they really haven't worked these boundaries.
I think that makes about 5 times they kicked out on the full, Darryl. I think that's another part of their undisciplined display.
Yes, well, I know they don't get to train much on this ground. In fact, I don't think they've even trained on the ground, but there's no excuse for that many kicks going out, Mick.
A lot of space between the two sidelines, Darryl. I think they should be able to land them in there.
Greatest feed, Great Britain's ball. So it's the second one in the last few minutes. They've won against the feed. This is Offiah. Now we'll see his pace. Away he goes. He beats Gary Jack. He's going to score. Offiah will score. Wally Lewis cuts him off so he can't improve the angle. But we've finally seen him run in a straight line and he's scored a try. Oh boy, he can burn the turf, this guy. I'll tell you, he can run. When he goes straight, he's great. Watch this. He stands Belcher up. He gets away from Gary Jack. Puts the accelerator down, has a look. Belcher comes back at him. Lewis cuts him off. But Offiah scores. 16th try of the tour.
Well, here Belcher comes up short in defence. He should have nailed him there. And he beat him on pace from then on home. But they won 2 balls against the feed from scrums.
Okay, Lachlan now set for the kick. Bobby Linder and Vaughton having a bit to say. The 16th try for Martin Offiah on this tour, and he of course is from the Widnes Club. He can motor, and he goes straight. Lachlan, poor kick. Score, Australia 34, Great Britain 14. And the British flags fly. They now have a reason. A try scored. The game slipping away for them though, of course, but at least they're still having a go. Martin Offiah, we heard so much about him. 12 months, a changeover from rugby union. He wasn't selected in the World Cup side, so he decided to switch to league. He's scored a tremendous amount of tries in England in the domestic season, and finally has shown us in a test match when he gets some ground, he can really cover it quickly. And he goes straight. Play on the 22. Well, Ray, that'd make you feel a bit better.
Well, that made me feel a bit better, but also it shows what a lost cause there's been, that three-quarter line. Tremendous talent in that three-quarter line, and that's where the ball should have gone out. You were talking about Mike Tyson earlier on. Well, let's give a little bit of stick to Sam Backo there. No read for that whatsoever. And he picked up one of the smallest men on the field. That won't go down well back in England.
I agree with that. Big Sam just swung one out. Now, what's he going to do? He's calling out who? The captain, I guess. Or is it the touch judge coming in? We'll have a look at the incident. Ellery Hanley saying, well, hang on, he should get 10. He's indicating he should get 10. Paul Dixon is in on the conversation. Penalty to Great Britain.
Well, if he got 10, he'd only served 2. He kicked him.
Let's have a look. There was a kick. There was a punch. Big Sam. The fire's in his eyes. Great Britain, time running out, just a couple of minutes remaining, but they're still prepared to throw it around, but, well, they can't catch it. They're throwing it, they put it down. The scrum will pack midway between the half and the quarter. Sterling to feed for Australia. Lewis on to O'Connor and Jack, onto Curry. Curry caught by Lachlan, driven back. Belcher. Bobby Linder, been busy since he came on. .45 seconds left. The official time on the clock here. Lewis, one quickly out. Another loose ball. Australia just handballing it around. Pearce now straightens it up. Gets it on to Belcher. Tries to unload and can't. Paul Hume, the main tackler there with Mike Gregory. Lewis, Sterling. Bulletin Smith. Jackson shapes the kick, frees the arms up, the ball picked up, flicked back. Bulletin Smith, they're going nowhere, but they're throwing it around. Pearce, he'll straighten it up, flicks it back inside, goes to Lewis, on to Sterling. It's full time. Australia have defeated Great Britain 34 points to 14 here in Lake Park, wrapping up the bicentennial series.